Mr. Vigil, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me in your program.
Why the American authorities decide to make these decisions?
The United States, for a number of years, has been offering reward payments for the capture of many terrorists, drug traffickers, and transnational organized crime members. These reward payments are coordinated between the U.S. Department of State and the U.S. Department of Justice. The authorities are hoping that someone will turn them in for the reward payment, but history has shown us that that is very rare. It's not a normal occurrence.
What about the Department of Treasury sanctions? What do they look for by doing this?
For example, the Office of Foreign Asset Control, OFAC, what they look at is trying to identify assets, for example, bank accounts, properties, things that belong to the criminal organization that have been obtained through criminal activities so that they can be either sanctioned or seized in collaboration with a foreign country, or if the assets are in the United States, seizing them here. Here in the United States, for example, at the federal level, we have a 95% success rate in prosecuting criminals, which is very high.
How do the authorities imagine this work?
The authorities look at it this way, that they will initiate any and all actions that can dismantle a lot of these criminal organizations. But a lot of times, what it boils down to is whether or not the foreign country where these groups are operating have adequate laws to be able to deal with that. If they don't have the adequate laws, then the United States will try to obtain a U.S. indictment, a formal accusation here in the United States, and then request extradition from that particular country to bring those criminals to the United States so that they can be tried here.
What do you think about all of this?
They have very little impact because there's not too many people that are going to risk their lives by turning in major drug lords or major terrorists, because even though they might be able to take the money and flee, they're not going to be able to take their entire family. And therefore, these family members are probably going to be susceptible to being killed by that criminal organization. In my personal opinion, these reward payments are basically symbolic, because most of the captures of a lot of these drug capos, for example, are basically garnered by intelligence.
What do you think is going to happen with these rewards?
I think that the rewards will continue, but I don't think that in most cases they're very successful. Again, because the people that could provide information leading to the capture and conviction of these criminals are going to be very afraid of coming forward with that information, because they're going to fear for their lives or the lives of family members that may not be protected, and it basically exposes them to violence from the criminal network in question. I think that it will work sometimes, but usually it doesn't. And I think that when we deal with any transnational organized group, we need to work together.
All right, Mr. Vigil, thank you very much for this information.
Okay, not a problem, Rodrigo. Anytime, cuando quieras.